Hey everyone, so I'm back in with another video. This time around I have something a little different. Usually when it comes to video game pickups, I show them in specific sets. I split it up by retro, 6th gen, and then current and last gen video game pickups. But this time around I have something a little bit different to show you guys just because it's a stack of Nintendo Power magazines and they range from pretty much the NES all the way up until 3DS, so it covers pretty much all of what I talk about. So I'm just gonna start and tell you guys a story about how I got all of these. I went to the store here in the city of Toronto called High Tech. I'm not entirely certain if it's High Tech Video Games or just High Tech. But I went in a little over a week ago, and I saw that they had a shit ton of Nintendo Power magazines, but they wanted something like $5 each on them, so it was a little too much for me. But I picked out a good stack of them. I grabbed 16 altogether, plus one sort of a tip guide thing. So 17 items altogether, and I got a deal of $35 for them. I believe that's a deal. I don't remember exactly. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So I pretty much, if they wanted $5 each for them, I paid for 7, and I got 10 of them for free. So it was a pretty decent deal. And I might as well just skip over the rest because it's pretty dull. I just asked them to hold on to them for a week because I shouldn't have spent the money at the time, so I didn't, and I went back to pick them up. Yep, this is what I got for $35. First up is the Super Mario Bros. 2 Inside Out Super Power Tip Book Part 1, and it's in pretty good condition except for the fact that the back has some pen scribbled on the Mario there and down here, and there's a rip in the corner, but otherwise it's all there and in pretty good condition. And the one thing that was kind of cruddy about these is that most of them were missing their posters. Almost all the ones that they had in the store were missing their posters, but they must have come from a fan, so considering the fact that most of these were subscription copies that had 2 different people's names on them. Those 2 people were significant fans, and they most definitely cut out the posters. But yeah, first up here of the volumes of Nintendo Power is volume number 26, Robin Hood. Prince of Thieves is the featured game on this one here. Next up is volume 29, featuring Star Trek. This one here is volume 31, featuring Metroid. Volume 33, featuring TMNT 3, The Manhattan Project. I have not played that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game yet, and I do intend to find it soon, but prices are crazy for some of the Ninja Turtles games. Volume 35 featuring WWF Super WrestleMania, and Hulk Hogan and some big fat hairy guy on the cover there. If you guys know who this guy that he's about to slam is, please let me know. I have next to no idea. I did watch wrestling when I was a kid, but I do not remember much because it was literally for a couple minutes at a time, and I really could care less what was happening. The last of the classic ones here is volume 38, featuring Street Fighter 2. And this one did come with the poster inside, but the poster itself is for Wings 2 Aces High. I believe that's the order of that. It could be Wings Aces High 2, but not entirely certain. I've never played that game. And almost creased that. Moving on to the sort of GameCube, Game Boy Advance era, there's Nintendo Power Volume 184 featuring Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. Volume 188 featuring The Legend of Zelda: The Minish Cap. 189 is the last of the GameCube era. This is when they started covering DS games as well. 189 features Star Fox Assault. And then moving on to the more recent ones, all these are from 2011 and the beginning of 2012. First up here features The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time 3D. And that is... which one is that? Oh, Volume 267. Next is Star Fox 64 3D, and that's volume number 270. This one here features Kirby Mass Attack and Kirby's Return to Dreamland, and it is volume 271. I like the sort of simplistic artwork on the cover of this issue. It's really nice. I mean, with Kirby, you can either go... Well, actually, Kirby's a really simple character. But it can still be over the top sometimes. But yeah, volume 271. Volume 272 features Super Mario Land 3D on the cover there. 273 features Mario Kart 7. Kid Icarus Uprising is on the cover of volume 275 there, a game that I mean to get. It sucks that when I had the opportunity to get this game, I just didn't bother. I expected it to be one of those games that you could just find. I mean, Nintendo first-party games, eventually they become hard to find. That is of the more recent releases, but they have their period where they're usually easy enough to find. Stores will have decent stock of them, but lately it's been getting to the point where it's harder to find even first-party titles for the 3DS. But yeah, Kid Icarus Uprising on volume 275 there. And the last one, the most recent one, and I even looked through all the ones they had there to see if they had the very last volume of Nintendo Power, but they did not have it. This one here is volume number 278 from May 2012, and it features Pokemon Conquest on the cover. I've been playing that game, but I still haven't finished it. Maybe there's some hints or something in this that should help me out. If not, it might just be covering the sort of basic themes of the game itself. But yeah, there's an article in there for Pokemon Conquest. And even the cover is pretty nice there with a glossy cover and Mewtwo right there. But yeah, that's the last one of this set. And to be able to find all of that for $35, while it's not an amazing price, it's a pretty decent price for some retro, or maybe I should say vintage, some vintage Nintendo Powers, as well as some more recent Nintendo Power volumes as well. Nintendo Power magazines, at least in my experience, have been pretty hard to find. I have been able to find some in thrift stores and some in a couple of other stores across the city. But typically they get priced up. I've seen them between $5 to $15 per issue. And I even saw one store, they had them priced at $20 for the sort of N64 era Nintendo Power volumes. But what can you do? Stores are going to price whatever they think, and especially with Nintendo products, even just a magazine, the Nintendo branding is enough to boost the price. Anyways, that's what I got. All that $35. As always, leave comments in the comment section below. Anything you'd like to say, comments, questions, suggestions, ideas, anything at all, and I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Check out my Facebook, Twitter, website. They're all linked in the description below. And that's it. See ya.